Getting, guys, we're going to a neighborhood in Philly that's like Skid Row in LA. And speaking of Skid Row, I will cover a video on LA's Skid Row in the future so we can compare the two together. But in the meantime, let's go inside America's city of zombies. Let's get right into it.
This video is made to educate and inform people just like you watching this video about the current state and current issue that is happening here in America currently with the fentanyl crisis. And each person being interviewed in this video consented to being filmed, and I made sure each person was alive and taken care of.
So is it just me, or has fentanyl just become a buzzword recently in like the last year or two? Because I feel like prior to 2023, I haven't really heard too much about fentanyl
After I left the scene where I was filming at. Please stay away from drugs, and may we all pray for Kensington, Philadelphia.
It burned down to the bone, so I
Damn, we're just getting right into it with eye burns and shit. Wow.
been numb ever since, you know?
You'll see a familiar face, and at any given moment, you might not see that person again.
This is a choice for you to be doing this every day.
It's a choice. I mean, I can choose to get picked up right now and go to rehab.
Okay, I might be speaking too soon, but that's not as bad as Skid Row. Skid Row is way worse than that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If you're watching this, whoever, do not come down here because it makes you worse, not better.
These
I'm in
people,
Kensington,
these people look absolutely defeated, though.
Philadelphia right now, and right behind me, right here, we have someone that is overdosing on Trank. It is a new drug that has been spreading across America.
Trank.
They're mixing this new drug called Trank with fentanyl, and it has caused a lot of chaos here. And
That sounds like it's short for tranquilizers. That's supposed to knock you out. And they're combining it with fentanyl? Holy fucking shit. This guy's just trying to be gone.
Philadelphia and across America, and this avenue right here called Kensington Avenue is known as the land of zombies because, like this guy right behind me, people are overdosing and it's putting them in a zombie-like state where they lose complete control of their body in a slumping motion.
To grasp the gravity of this issue, while you are watching
Damn, that actually sounds more intense than Skid Row.
this video, 4 people across America will die from drug overdose. Kensington is known as the city of zombies due to the devastating effects of a drug called xylazine, a horse tranquilizer mixed with fentanyl. Commonly refers to as trank, this drug is notorious for causing severe skin wounds and transforming users into a zombie-like state, causing them to lose control of their bodies and transform into a slumped, nodding posture. Within seconds of being
This is it, guys. The Walking Dead in real life is finally here, and you just have to go to Kensington in Philadelphia in the year 2024.
on this avenue, I'm in a
And it'll probably run on for like the next 5 years or so, because once this shit starts, it's almost hard to end.
was nodding.
Just look at Skid Row, for example. It's only gotten worse, worse, and worse, especially since the COVID pandemic.
And right now, your body's moving around in this motion right now, and what drug is causing you to...
Yeah, that guy's shirt definitely is speaking his language right now. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn anymore. He's just completely high out of his mind on all sorts of goodies, with the tranquilizer, fentanyl, and maybe some other shit that just came on the market that we don't know
slump
about.
like this?
Right now.
Sir, are you okay?
This guy, he can't even formulate a proper fucking sentence. What the hell, man? He's gone, but that shirt looks clean though. Not gonna lie, for somebody that's so gone, that shirt does look a little clean.
What drug are you taking right now? Is it Trank?
Yeah.
Does it make
there
you
go.
mad when people call this place Zombieland and they call the people of the street zombies?
Look around, what do you see? You see people with arms that with exposed flesh. You see people.
That is kind of zombie-like, right? Because when we see zombies, we think about the flesh, right? The exposed flesh on their skins and just acting like zombies in general. Like they have no sight in their eyes, nothing. They're just completely dead in the face and all these bruises with the burn marks, everything.
See people that you walk by when you smell.
Holy shit.
What you smell in the air is death. You know, so how can a person be mad? If anything, they should be mad at themselves. You know, for allowing themselves to get like this.
The streets in Kensington are filled with needles. They are literally everywhere. Look at this drain. There are more than 20 needle caps in this one frame.
And what drugs?
Let's get these guys into Beverly Hills ASAP. Let's get them into some mansions. Come on, let's do it.
They're taking over the streets here.
Heroin, crack, meth, usually just that stuff.
And we've been hearing a lot about Trank. And trank getting mixed with fentanyl.
Well, that's what I basically meant when I said heroin would be the trank.
And to understand the power of fentanyl, it is 100 times more powerful than morphine and 50 times more powerful than heroin. But
What?
from I
And
understand,
heroin's already pretty serious, and you're saying it's 50 times more powerful than heroin. Holy shit, man.
from the user's
And heroin
strains-
made some people go crazy too, like, oh my god. And they're even combining it with other shit. It's not even just the fentanyl itself. It's fentanyl plus freaking trank or whatever it is. Oh my
They're
god.
using heroin laced with fentanyl added with xylazine,
Jesus.
creating triple the high. I do not share this information to promote the power of this drug, but rather to help you be more aware of the danger of this drug in hopes of it discouraging any potential user.
And does the city do anything to help you guys try to get off the drugs here? Or?
Well, actually, to speak on that subject, it was pretty good, you know, the help for the clean needles and everything like that. But just recently, like in the past week, unfortunately, the place that does the most help, I think, Prevention Point, about 2-minute walk from here, they give out clean syringes and, you know, food and socks and rehabs and whatever you could possibly need if you're out here on the street or so forth.
So does it help when the city gives you guys the free needles, or does it make you guys want to do drugs even more?
Well, I think in the end, it's just black and white. If you want to get high, you're going to figure out how to do it, whether you get a free needle or not. So I don't think you're hurting anybody by giving us a clean syringe. If anything, you're protecting us.
I don't know what it was from. I woke up with my head on the heater.
With her head on the
yeah.
heater.
Really? How long has that been going on for?
So damn, she must have taken some of that fentanyl trank and she just passed out on a heater, and now she's got a nice little eye tattoo to go with it.
A month. I had had like 3 surgeries on it already. Did like put a dermal and a skin graft and stuff. I know somebody put something in my milk.
She's even got burn marks on her head. Like if you look closely, she's got like a couple of burn marks. So that must have been one hell of a rest on the radiator. The fact that she was able to be comfortable on like a metal object like that, especially when the heat's on, holy crap, dude.
Last thing I remember is drinking milk, and like next thing I know, hours later, I woke up with my head on the heater. I know somebody came through my window and did this.
And what do you think was in your milk?
Could have been, I don't know, Xannies or something.
How does that end up in the milk unless she put it there herself?
I didn't wake up, you know, for most, but it's alright because it burnt down to the bone, so it's been numb ever since, you know.
Yeah.
So it
God.
was a blessing. So that's alright. God will deal with them, you know.
Do you think more people need to be aware about what's happening here in Kensington Avenue and in other streets here in America with this epidemic of drugs going across America?
I think that they need to know what the government is the ones doing this, like you know what I mean? Like they already did sweeps and like they try to cover up their bad behavior, you know, like real shit. I used to keep a list of.
I feel like they can do all the sweeps in the world, and I don't think it's going to fix the issue at this point. I think the damage has gotten to a point where it's mostly irreversible, and you know, it's really up to the people for them to try and like change their lives to get out of these habits, but that's not going to happen. Like I feel like the sweeps are just too far gone at this point, because people are always going to be hiding fentanyl or like whatever drugs that are hot at the time. Like it's going to be almost impossible to do a proper sweep, especially when there's so many neighborhoods in this country that are going through this same exact problem.
Everyone I know that passed away, and I stopped a couple years ago. I stopped writing names down because it was just like every other day it was somebody else. They would put people in these apartments, and how come when people get their apartments, that's when they die? Like it wasn't a coincidence, you know what I mean? Like they setting people up, and
You think the government's setting up people to die?
yeah.
Give this woman a tinfoil hat, guys.
What would incentivize them to do that?
You know, 2 people can keep a secret if one of them's dead, you know? Real shit. Like, I'm not just saying this, like, but it's like, I think more people need to know about, like, what's going on. Like,
At one point,
Or maybe they just can't handle the pressure of being in an apartment and dealing with bills and whatnot, because after a certain point of time, right, these guys have to be moved out, and maybe the people that get these apartments are worried about having their life suddenly downgraded again because they're no longer getting the free apartments.
Each of these individuals on Kensington were not drug addicts, however they are now. But how does the process of getting addicted to drugs start? I met this 25-year-old who explained how the process starts for a large group of drug addicts.
Like, it's people out here younger than me. I'm 25, bro. I know people out here 19, 18 that's doing fentanyl.
Damn,
like,
fresh out of high school.
crack and doing drugs.
You're 25 years old. Did you ever expect your life to be like this?
No. It started after I got shot. They was prescribing me Percocets for the pain. After they cut me off of the Percs and start buying them on the street, and then end up getting slipped the fentanyl pill, and then start doing fentanyl and just slippery slope after that. Like.
So that actually opened up my eyes to another thing. Like, maybe part of the reason why drugs are out of hand is because of the gun violence in this country, right? Like, somebody gets shot, they get prescribed painkillers and all that. People get addicted to said painkillers that they would have never been exposed to if it wasn't for, you know, getting shot. And then you just have this endless cycle of where now, because they like the feeling of the painkillers, they have to figure out ways to get those painkillers. So it starts with the gateway stuff like Xanax, even ibuprofen, right? And then you go to the streets, you find even stronger shit. So fentanyl, and then eventually trank, and then you try to like combine them. Like, it's crazy.
And now, would you say that fentanyl's taken over your...
It's crazy how a gun-related injury can snowball into all of this and turn a completely clean person into somebody that's this addicted to the point where they're now out on the streets being literal zombies. And it doesn't even have to be just guns, right? It could be just any sort of physical injury, right? Like maybe you got into a sports injury or you got into an injury at the gym. Not saying that you should avoid doing physical activities because you should go to the gym, but it's just stuff like that, right?
Your life?
Yeah, pretty much. Your whole day is revolved around trying to get money to get high, like every single day, and it's just tiring, bro. And it's like I never felt something that I wanted to stop doing that I couldn't do for the life of me. Like I don't want to do this shit no more, but I just can't stop. Like I can't.
With the trank, we see a lot of people that are in like the zombie-like state. What do they do to resolve the situation with the trank?
They haven't even really started to like do research on it or nothing yet. Like they don't even know how to. They don't have anything to stop the trank withdrawal. Like Narcan is meant for fentanyl, but not for the trank. You know what I'm saying? They don't have anything for the trank.
Narcan is spread throughout the streets and you can find it literally anywhere. These people here explain the power of Narcan better than I can. Also, I must warn you, this part of the video shows the intense effects of fentanyl as one of the people decide to use it during our conversation.
Danger, danger. So before I get into it, it's also making me realize why in some countries it's completely illegal to have drugs, even weed. So in Singapore, for example, if you're caught even with like a small ounce of weed, that's like a 10+ year prison sentence. And I think they can put you on the death penalty for that. And I'm pretty sure drugs, like even weed, is also outlawed in Japan and South Korea, from what I recall off the top of my head. So you have a lot of first world countries that are like making this push as well for banning drugs, and they probably point to videos like these and go, well, this is why we ban drugs. But let's get into the supposedly even wilder part of this.
What they do is they distribute it to the people around here, usually prevention point. This takes all the opiates out of your system immediately, off the receptors in your brain.
Damn.
So Narcan, what it does is it resets your mind to go back to normality.
Exactly. The receptors in your brain that are filled with, what is it called? What's the name of the stuff that is filled in the receptors in your brain? The feel-good
lobes
stuff that your body makes up and it
Dopamine.
adds to it.
Bam, dopamine. See ya. Got it.
Dopamines, yeah. The receptors get filled with dopamine. So the dopamines is an opiate, or fentanyl and the trank. That's where it lays. So when somebody,
You know, it's also a dopamine producer. Going to the motherfucking gym. If you go to the gym, you'll release endorphins. It'll give you a sense of dope. It'll satisfy your dopamine.
he's not breathing, you take one of these and you
That's
press
like one of the easiest ways to get your dopamine off is just by going to the gym.
this red button.
And it's good for you.
here, but you put it up
In their nose.
their nose and you press this. And then you usually wait like 5 minutes. You should give them CPR because, or a chest roll like this, because if your brain doesn't get oxygen within 3 minutes.
And then, you know, just circling back to the gym thing real quickly, like, and not only does it make you feel better and you look better, but you can use the better looks that you got from going to the gym to open yourself up to better opportunities, so you don't put yourself in the situation where you have to resort to fentanyl to make yourself feel better.
I think it is your
You can go fucking
brain dead.
because of the trank and shit. You gotta give them you gotta breathe for them.
You three people.
Like, I'm pretty sure this trank stuff that's making them brain dead is causing irreversible damage to their brain cells.
People seem like very intelligent people, and so you can tell you guys are very intelligent people. You were in the
This guy's being
military,
nice.
and I don't know what you did, but you're very well spoken.
Yeah, most of the people around here, everybody around here ain't no dummies.
Yeah, I was a bill collector for several years.
Most of the addicts are very intelligent people. You know what I mean? Like,
They underestimate us.
Then they stop.
But this right here is not what it was. This is like, the shit that they got on the streets nowadays is like giving you a very atrocious, like the back of my head, and a lot of people will tell you certain dopes that I don't know what they're putting in it. It needs to get tested because it causes like a really bad aching wah, wah, wah in the back of your
Wah,
head,
wah,
and
wah.
it's like an ongoing headache that doesn't go away.
Wah.
You know what I mean? So
Is that what you have right now in your hand?
this will probably do that. This is
Censored.
probably gonna do it, but it's it's a hit or miss. Either you're getting something that doesn't do anything or something that does something with the headache.
Wow.
So
So
it's
it's a
like,
risk whether you.
Yeah, for someone that's supposedly taking all this fentanyl and supposed to be a zombie, she actually sounds like she has a good head on her shoulders, so kudos to her. She can definitely bounce back out of the situation if she tried hard enough. If she's this coherent, even after, getting into drug addiction. Like imagine how she was before going into this world.
It's a risk. It's a risk. Yo, I walked into 5 poles the other day because I was so like, how do you say, mummified? I was fucking so high. I
Mummified?
couldn't keep
Okay,
my
that's
head
a
up.
nice word.
You know what I mean?
See,
I'm getting ready to get on back
See,
on
she's even got away with words too. Mummified? Come on.
methadone and do a taper though. I'm done with this shit. It's a done deal.
Oh,
you just
there
did
we go.
drugs an hour
See, she
ago?
wants to taper off. So, see, hopefully I'm right that she tapers off and just gets back into the real world.
Now you're doing them again.
Yeah, because it was garbage. It was garbage.
Damn.
Now they came out with a new drug.
She's
fentanyl
spitting.
and shit though doesn't hold you for that long.
So
It ain't
when-
like
when they switched over from heroin to fentanyl, right? Now you can't go back to heroin because heroin you're not
God,
gonna
her
feel
teeth.
because fentanyl is like so much stronger. Right?
Wait,
Right?
just look at those teeth, man. Like, how can you go about life with teeth like that? Like, she's literally missing like half of her fucking teeth. Like, how do you chew on food? Like, what do you do? Like, can't, man. That's the thing about fentanyl that they haven't talked about yet, is that when you go on these drugs, you have something called like drug teeth, where you just start slowly losing your teeth because it makes your gums weaker. It's just ridiculous, man.
So now
Like, how do you go through life like that? And then that damage is almost irreversible because getting a new teeth is expensive as fuck. Like, even just getting one fake tooth in is like at least $1,000. And you have like what, a good 20, I don't know, a dentist can come in here and like correct me, but you have like a good like what, 26 teeth or whatever. It's 26 grand to get your fucking teeth replaced.
I overdosed. I haven't overdosed in 8 years, but I overdosed 6 times in 1 week because they came out with a new drug.
I would never wish this on my worst enemy. It's highly addictive, and I believe the facilities are not even. Luckily, like I haven't gotten those big old wounds that people get, like the holes and the like flesh-eating looking shit. But I'm ready to stop because I actually got one. Well, this is my second one right on the side of my hand. It's ugly, bro. But it will heal. Luckily,
Yep.
like it didn't get out of control. But I told myself if I ever got
Mindset.
one of those wounds.
Here's a little conspiracy theory, or maybe not that much of a conspiracy theory, but what if these flesh wounds are caused by just people scratching themselves? Because if there's one thing that I've learned about drugs and whatnot, is that it tends to make people very scratchy. And maybe they just keep scratching the same spot to the point where they're literally tearing off the flesh. Maybe that's why.
That I would quit.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It's
and
because
I'm
the
done.
itching gets to a
Yeah.
point where it
All right,
just
then
breaks off their
don't
skin.
do it right now then.
But then I'll be sick.
So what do you mean you'll be sick if you don't do it?
If I don't do it right, I'll end up being very nauseous.
Oh, that's like alcohol withdrawals. Holy shit. So you really do have to taper, right? So let's say you take like 3 hits a day. You have to like taper down to 2, and then a week later you have to taper down to 1. God damn. So it's like alcohol. Once you're roped into this shit, it's hard to get out of it.
Start throwing up. I can't eat. I'm not normal.
That's
I'll get
literal
the runs.
withdrawals.
Like, who wants to live like that? Who wants to run around when
Holy.
you know it takes $5 to make that all go away? But then the clock starts again.
$5?
And that's when you either
It's only $5 for a hit. What the hell?
take your ass to fucking treatment or you sit here and keep doing it until they
successfully get the shit off the streets, but you know it's not gonna happen. Wow. Her concept of doing this, the mayor's got it all wrong. This is not gonna work. It's not gonna stop. Drug dealers, all they're gonna do is move them into better areas and fuck those neighborhoods up. I don't even live down here. I'm not homeless. I live in Fox Chase. It's a choice, and how does she have the right to tell us we have to get sober?
Yeah.
In recovery, we all learn that it's...
I don't know what Fox Chase is. I'm not that familiar with the Philly area. Is that like a nicer neighborhood, or is that like hood adjacent?
It's a choice that we have to do within. You can't just make people get sober unless they want to. I want to.
Like we were just talking to her, most people want to get clean. However, she says if she doesn't do the drugs right now, she's going to be nauseous, be thrown up.
Yeah, and then most of us, like, there's not a bed in a
Actually,
rehab.
let's look at Fox
there's
Chase
hardly ever
real
a bed,
quickly.
and when you do get a bed and you get in there, you're sick as a dog because they need to change the protocol on, like, what they start the method on at. Like, it's not heroin
Fox
anymore, it's something
Chase.
stronger.
I'm 45 years old, and I used to do dope when it was dope, when it was the brown actual heroin.
So this
Who
is
knows?
a choice for you to be doing this every day.
It's a choice. I mean, I can choose to get picked up right now and go to rehab. Easy peasy. Now, the thing is, am I going to stick and stay with the shit that comes with it? That's where the going gets tough. You got to be ready mentally, physically. You got to prepare yourself. And if you're weak-minded and you don't really want it, you're not going to get through it.
She came back. Aww.
I don't know what they're putting in it. It needs to get tested because it causes like a
Oh, we got the flashbacks.
wah, wah, wah in the back of your head, and it's like an ongoing headache that doesn't go away.
Damn, she's gone.
How do we help her? How do we help her?
She's okay. She's fine. I'm just trying to sit her down. Help me to sit her down.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right, okay, you're good. Hold on, don't let her hit her head. Okay.
So she asleep now?
Yeah, a little bit. She's all right. She's breathing.
Is she breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing. She's okay. She's all right. Trust me.
I hope anybody watching this video realizes the reality of what's happening. I hope it makes you never want to do drugs in your life.
Wow.
Never do drugs, guys. This is not cool. Stay in school. Be somebody. Be something. Don't be out here doing this. Yep. Yep. Don't take no painkillers prescribed by the doctor either. Tell them to go to hell.
Then who's going to monitor that she's alive?
Because that's when it starts spiraling out of control. See, it all starts with the painkillers. But it's funny how they're talking about not doing drugs. But then 10 minutes after this recording, they're just going to take a hit of like fentanyl or tranq because of all the stress that the situation is causing.
She asked us because she knows my husband.
But then again, I am also in the camp of people that doesn't follow the advice that I give. So who am I to judge? Who am I to judge?
Does CPR.
There's a lot of stress.
And she knows we ain't gonna rob her. So usually you ask somebody that you can trust, and you ask somebody who knows saves lives. Do you know what I mean? Like, and somebody ain't gonna be a scumbag and go in your pockets. Like
Her neck. You gotta get her in a better spot.
Pull her legs down.
Make her comfortable.
That was not good. Not a good sight to see. Hope anybody watching this video, I hope you guys realize what is happening here and that you guys choose to never do drugs because like this lady was completely coherent, completely having a good conversation, speaking to me about what's going on, why she doesn't want to do drugs, and then she does it.
I'm not gonna lie, that interviewer looks like he's been getting no sleep. Those bags under his eyes, man, holy shit. Guy, you gotta go get some rest.
And now she's on the ground. Here on Kensington Avenue, is it every single day, is it like this where it's just a cycle of people use drugs, repeat, get another $5, use another, buy drugs?
It's a cycle of, you'll see a familiar face and at any given moment you might not see that person again. And to be completely honest, it isn't that you won't see the person's face because they got cleaned. It's 9 times out of 10 they either froze to death out here in the winter or somebody ended up doing something bad to them, like giving them a bad badge, they OD'd, or they got in trouble and they got...
Oh yeah, Philly winters are kind of rough, I could imagine. I grew up in New Jersey, so the climate's kind of similar, and the winters do get down to like, there's nights where it gets down to like 0 to 10 degrees. That's not completely unheard of, so maybe he's talking about those nights.
I leave the neighborhood, but you don't really see anything positive come out here unless people like us come out, we start cleaning, sweeping, and we actually start recommending different rehabilitation centers and walk hand in hand with individuals. If you leave someone laying on the sidewalk, 9 times out of 10, you're either gonna see them withering away or disappearing on a poster.
And what do you do here?
I'm a public advocate.
Public advocate?
Yes, sir.
So you're helping people here on the daily?
Yes, sir. I find, direct people to the proper housing, to the proper shelters that they need to. Some translators, well, some store owners don't have any translators around, so I'm constantly on call. I also got multiple bags of Narcan, first aid kits too. I've revived people back and forth.
And how many times a day are you reviving people here?
I say about four times daily.
Yeah, we were walking around and we see Narcan, and it's just like on the side of the wall.
Yeah, we used to hang up multiple bags up and down Kensington, but there's so many overdoses and so many people that need the.
So wait, now my question is, does this guy get paid to do that, or is that strictly volunteer work where he goes around and he revives people?
Narcan that when you look after about a half hour of you hanging up 7 different bags, they're gone.
As there are good people like this trying to help clean up the streets, I have now noticed something strange surrounding Kensington Avenue.
There's apartments there too.
4 elementary schools within blocks of this avenue.
Wait,
and I
there's
met some
4
kids
elementary
that use the
schools?
train system on the avenue to go to and from
What?
school.
So right now you guys are just getting off the train from school?
So these kids are getting exposed to like the crazy fentanyl zombies on a daily. What the? Oh my God. And this is in the range of 4 school districts. Oh my God. These kids got a terrible spawn point in life. Oh my God. That's wow.
I see here on the daily.
Like, basically, like, yeah, like most of them, like, just be.
And the fact that they're exposed to this kind of stuff puts them in a lot of danger, right? Like they could be, you know, a victim of collateral damage in one of these like drug-fueled rages. Because I'm sure the fentanyl and the trank has made some of these people angry, or there's like fights over it too. So, you know, these kids could be poor bystanders in the middle of like a druggy fight.
Down here.
And not only that, but they see this kind of stuff and they think it's normal. So then they end up trying it out themselves, and then they end up getting addicted to it, like addiction through exposure. That's scary, man. And the fact that there's not 1, not even 2, but 4 school districts within blocks of that main strip of Kensington, that's just wild to me. And that they have to take the train, that their train stop to those schools is in the main section of Kensington. Holy crap. And when you look at like the drone footage, you also see like apartments on that street too. So you're telling me that there's like a bunch of people that have this right on their doorstep. That's insane.
Doing like put stuff in their arms, have like this big horny legs, basically.
Does it scare you guys walking down here?
Nah, not really. We see it much like every single day.
And have you guys seen dead people here on the streets?
Like 4. Like down here in Allegheny, there's everywhere.
Do your parents have any concerns of you guys coming to school and then coming back from
For a kid, he's pretty well spoken. Maybe that doesn't affect the street smarts.
school walking around these streets?
Sometimes. My parents got my location, so I'm chilling.
What's the craziest thing you guys have seen here on the streets?
Like teenagers just like come out of nowhere and just hit them.
Oh, yeah.
Like punches, guns?
Punches.
At what age do kids start carrying guns around here?
Like
what kind of guns? Like real guns or fake guns?
Like real guns or fake guns.
Amber, we walked over
They
here.
are so desensitized. I mean, I guess that's one positive, right? Is that these kids learn how to deal with bad hands in life because they're being exposed to it early. But that's for the ones that don't get dragged into the addiction, into like or get roped into the violence that's caused by like these drug addicted like pockets of, you know, town.
And everyone starts yelling your name. Are you famous here on Kensington?
Yes, if on YouTube, everybody.
She's on
Everybody
YouTube.
knows me on YouTube as Kensington Amber.
She's got a YouTube channel? Yo, I gotta look her up now.
I was just in a.
All right, after this recording, I'm probably gonna look her up and I'm gonna see if there's anything that we can comment on.
Coma. I just
Kensington
got out of the
Amber,
hospital.
remember that.
I was on life support to the point where they had to call my family to read their rights, all from withdrawal. I gave my heart and lungs gave out.
Since you've been here for 9 years, have the consumption of drugs changed? Are there different drugs that are coming around now?
Definitely, yes. Since I've been in the hospital this year, January, they have changed.
We wake up every day with no money. Somehow we get money. We do whatever we can, right? We just use 10% of that energy of going to get high and doing those things. If we do that, just 10% of that energy, putting it into getting clean, you'll stay clean. The things that we do in order to get high is kind of ridiculous.
But before you talk about that, you got to get clean yourself. I can tell that you're not clean as of that recording, my friend. You still sound like you're all over the place.
You wake up every morning, you have the desire to get high.
This is one of those cases where it's easier said than done, my friends.
Is that the number one thing that pops up on your mind?
It's even when I'm sleeping. Even when I'm sleeping.
And it's not a desire to get high, it's a desire to get well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's got a sick accent.
There's no more getting high.
It's just I have to use this so that I'm not
Substance to
throwing up, pissing out of my butt, you know, all the symptoms of withdrawal. You know?
So if you weren't using drugs, you'd be a lot sicker than you are right now. Is that what you're saying?
If I didn't use drugs today, I would not be here right now. I would be curled up in a ball somewhere, puking my brains out.
Yeah, but you don't know
So we were
that.
just talking to Vinny, and now Vinny told us, he came back and grabbed me. He said, you got to go over to this guy named Eddie's house, right?
Correct.
Eddie. What does Eddie do?
Eddie is, I would say, a provider to the neighborhood. He's a little bit of a crazy guy, but he really does help the community.
You got some soft serve ice cream in there.
You guys are about to see, so that's where we're headed now.
I'm gonna take Vinny's word on this one. We're going over to Eddie's house right now. Hopefully nothing bad happens.
And as soon as I turned the corner to go to Eddie's house, I was welcomed by a bunch of screams from people outside of Eddie's house.
Avenue, and they don't want them selling drugs.
I do not think it was a good idea to go to Eddie's house, and I don't know why I followed.
Oh my god, the interviewer is scared, man. He's literally shaking. You can see it in his legs. He does not want to be there right now. He's just shaking in his boots, but hey, at least this video almost got 1 million views in 2 months. In the 2 months
And
it's
if you
been up
enjoyed
for.
this video, please consider subscribing and give this video a like. I will be responding to your comments down below. This is Nick, and I will see you next.
But yeah, this video almost got 1 million views in the 2 months it was uploaded, so maybe it was worth the trembling and whatnot. But it's just absolutely wild how you see those apartments in the background, and people who live there have to deal with that on a daily basis, or as soon as they walk out of their doorstep, they're greeted by like armies of zombies. So let's see what the comments have here. The one lady with her husband seems so kind, and they both seem so smart. I hope they find a better life. I think it's the lady with like the missing teeth. And the other dude, I'm a recovering fentanyl addict, and I've been sober for 1 year and 9 months. I hope people reach out and get help like I did. Good luck to you all. Yeah, at the end of the day, you have to do it yourself. Like nobody's going to be able to force you to do it or force you to recover, at least here in this country. This should be shown to students in a high school health class. I mean, the fact that there's 4 school districts within a short distance of Kensington Avenue, you definitely have a group of kids that are witnessing this in real time as part of like their health class, or what would be a part of their health class, even if it's not official. But yeah, that's the city of zombies. So in the future video, we're going to look into Skid Row and see if Skid Row is even worse than this. Spoiler alert, I live in LA. I've driven through Skid Row and it smells like ass. So when they were talking about how it smelled like death, I can kind of get a feel for that same smell, because I smelled it in Skid Row. It's not a pleasant smell, and I'm pretty sure it's bad over there in Kensington as well. But yeah, so first that, and then I want to see this Kensington Amber too, because that one girl said that she had a YouTube channel, and I'm guessing she documents her life in Kensington because Kensington is literally in her YouTube handle. So I'm gonna look her up, and I will bring back the results of that. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one.